Levi Adams, and you're watching Average Joe Sports Talk. Levi Adams, defensive end, Gadsden City, Alabama. Or Gadsden City.
All right, Levi, coming into this season, you played last year, correct, under Coach Sessions. So coming into this season, talk about the difference in the off-season preparation leading into this season with Coach Ollie Smith.
He, with him being here so long, he just knows the community so much more detailed. You know what I'm saying? So he's able to really come to us personally because he's been here so long. He knows the different players. He's known me since elementary school, and that's how it is for every single player there is. So he just knows everyone's strengths, weaknesses. He knows where to play them in position-wise, what they need to do, what they need to work on. He's just a lot more detail-oriented, and he's more about focusing on help us with life lessons with football instead of it just being all about football, which is in the long run that's how it's going to be. So he's really taking it to the next level, and then with having just the program that he started, that he had before Sessions with Scott, that's about the same one he's using again. He's getting us bigger, stronger, faster, and ready to compete.
And I noticed you mentioned he's known you since elementary school, and that seems to be a lot of players that we've interviewed from Gadsden City. He's paid attention to you guys. What does that mean to you personally, knowing that somebody's actually looking at that kid that most coaches could walk by and not even know who they are?
It means a lot because a lot of these guys, the position that they're playing, beforehand, if a coach just looks at someone who's tall, they're going to think he's a wide receiver, but they don't see what he's done his entire life. That's why with Coach Sessions, I used to be a tight end. Offensive line, did a little bit of both. This year he moved me to defensive end because he knew my strengths and my weaknesses. So he knows, he's looked at the backgrounds, he's watched our middle schools, he knows what we're used to and what we're not used to. So it just helps a lot, especially when it comes to, even after high school. Players stay in touch with him and a lot of the other coaches. It just helps us out,
Talk about your transition from offense to defense, obviously, and let's just be honest, which one do you like more?
Definitely defense. Defense is my go-to. I played a little bit of it last year when they throw me in whenever they needed me, and I've always been, that's what I've always played. And then Coach Scott came along and he moved a lot of players around. It's a lot different. But once Coach Smith got really back into it, he started putting players back where he thought they needed to be. So it's I'll tell you, offense and defense, people look at it, two sides of the ball, totally different.
Yeah.
So defense, you're a lot more physical. You're a lot more getting into the play. It's a lot more running. You got to be a lot more athletic, especially when it comes to defensive line. You're big and athletic. That's what you got to be.
Now you look like a weight room guy. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'll probably work out 4 to 5 times a week in the morning before school, before I even go to football. So I got my routine, but I've been doing this, I'd say 2.5, 3 years since my freshman year, just really working on my strength, just trying to build up. I've always been a bigger guy, but I've just really muscled up this last year. So. But
you stay pretty lean because you look like I know you guys are in shape.
Yeah.
I drive by on Saturdays sometimes in summertime to see you guys out there running. But now your lifts in the morning, you do that on your own pretty well?
Yeah, I do. I go to my gym and I just, I got my own little routine going. I take my protein. I just try to do as much as I can off the field to help me on the field. A lot more of, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players that, have all the talent in the world, but if they're not, really perfecting it, even off the field, because that's what it takes. You got guys, there's probably some guys somewhere bigger than me that's worked out, way before I have, before school, a lot longer than I have, and that's just what I push to get.
It's pretty impressive, a lot of self-discipline there.
Yeah.
A lot of guys couldn't sleep, including myself, while you're doing that. Let's talk about who's somebody that gets you fired up, another team, somebody you see on the, on the schedule, and it's just a little bit different for you that week.
First off, we always have to start off with Etowah. That was the most fired up game. That's a big one. And then you look at Bob Jones. With this game coming up, this was a big one for last year because I'd say I think it was about 2016, 2017. Bob Jones was our turning point. Mm-hmm. So coming up to this game, it's such a big deal that it could really swing the momentum around because I mean, we have the talent. People know that we have the talent. We just have to, get our minds in check. Like I said, this past week, one of the best weeks of preparation we've had, we're ready. After coming off, a pretty good game against Austin, we may have lost, but it's a lot less mistakes happening, a lot working harder, out there on the field, So,
Coach talked about putting a complete game together. It looks like in the Austin game, you guys come alive in the second half. The whole they were averaging like in the high 40s per game on offense. I think you guys held them to 16 or 17? 17, and then you flipped back around and scored there late yourselves, and Quentin had a huge interception in the end zone. Talk about what it's going to take to put that perfect game together.
Like, it always starts with preparation. When it comes to the guys, we got to have a full week. We may have a good Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but if we don't have a good Sunday, Monday, there it is. There's that third and fourth quarter right there that we didn't get. So I mean, if you're not there, if you're not working, if you're not ready, if you don't have your mind in check, if you're going to be out there, at least be out there and try. You know what I'm saying? And this, like I said, this past week, everyone's had their head on straight. We're ready. We just came off of. We knew what the stakes were. People put us down against Austin. They were probably one of the top in the region. Mm-hmm. So people were thinking, this is going to be another Gadsden City get whooped. But we went out there and we saw what we could do. And that's with a lot of mistakes. We fix the mistakes, keep doing what we're good doing, working hard, and we'll be pretty stout.
But let's talk about you personally. I know you're looking to play at the next level, or are you just going to go straight into bodybuilding? No, for real. Are you going to try to play ball at the next level? Is there anybody you're leading the game for you right now you're interested in more than others?
I'm really hoping to go to Vandy. Because not only with football, but I've always wanted to go into a medical field. Vandy, UAB, Chattanooga, something up that ways, It's just, honestly, like I tell my grandmother, anywhere that pays. Anywhere that pays, I can walk out of there with a degree.
Oh, that's
so that works, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And if that don't work, you go be Mr. Olympia or something.
That's a backup plan. That'll do.
Well, before we close this down, talk to us about what you're going to do, what's the steps you're going to do in your own free time to make that dream come a reality and you play at the next level, get a degree.
I'd say just keep doing what I'm doing, working hard, keep going to the gym, keep working my body, stay straight A's, try to, I'm hoping for a 30 on the ACT, I'm rolling with a 25. I've only taken it twice though.
Oh, that's good.
So, it's a lot, life is a lot more than just football.
Oh, absolutely.
So, if you can perfect every single part of it, then you're gonna breeze through it and you're gonna be happy. That's really all that matters. You just got to do what makes you happy.
All right.
So
thank you so much.
Thank you.